Hello everyone, my name is Syafire, and today we are going to be talking about 2D versus 3D VTubers. How do I choose if I want to be 2D or 3D? Well, it depends on your specific situation, so we're going to go over that in this video today. What should you choose, why should you choose it, and what are 2D versus 3D VTubers? What is that situation sort of looking like? So without further ado, let's hop straight into it. Alright, so we're going to be talking about 3D VTubers first, and the first thing that I came to the conclusion of when looking over 2D and 3D VTubers is that it looks like 3D VTuber is going to be the cheaper option. As far as programs go for making a 2D VTuber versus a 3D VTuber, your free options and good options are going to lie in the 3D VTuber section. So for 3D VTubing, you start with something called VRoidStudio. That's where you make your 3D model, and then when you're done making your 3D model, you hop over into either 3Teen or VSeeFace. Both of these are free, and they're both programs that let you run your avatar so that you can bring it over to whatever you're streaming on or whatever you're recording on. So I like to use Streamlabs OBS. That's what I'm using to record right now. You can also use regular OBS, and there's other options out there, but your main three programs that are going to be free and be decent options are going to be VRoidStudio, 3Teen, and then Slobs or some sort of streaming software. And again, you could use VSeeFace, but I like 3Teen better. There's also a program called Luppet. This is not free though. Luppet is said to be the best option. I haven't tried it myself, but it does cost money. So I would recommend sticking with VRoidStudio, 3Teen, and using some sort of streaming software that works for you. So the next thing is that it's easy for non-artists or someone who feels like they aren't very creative, and we're going to get into exactly why it's going to be a better choice for somebody who's not very artsy or not necessarily feeling like they have the art skills they need to make a model. So like I mentioned earlier, one of the first things you download if you're going to be a 3D VTuber is something called VRoidStudio. I'll drop that link down below in important links. And basically what you're going to do is you just click new avatar and you have an option. You have a base model right away. So again, for people who aren't necessarily experienced in something like Blender or Maya or any other sort of 3D program, this is going to be awesome. This is great. This is very helpful for people who feel like they don't have the skill or the time to put more into creativity or the money to hire somebody to make a model for them. It's pretty simple for people who don't even necessarily know exactly what they're doing. So you just choose a boy or a girl and you start with your base model and you're ready to rock and roll. You're ready to go. It's a pretty simple program. And if you're interested in how this program works, you can go over to my How to Be a VTuber. I'll drop a card up top and that will go a little bit into it. Not super in depth, but enough for you to start understanding the program on a level where you can make an avatar. The next thing on the list is that it is quick results. If you want to just try this out, you don't even know if you want to be a VTuber for sure yet, or you need to get this rock and roll in. It's very, very quick to make your model. It literally took me like a few hours to make my avatar, my test avatar for my first stream, because I wanted to test it out. I wanted to see, is my community actually interested in me being a VTuber? So if you're still on the fence about being a VTuber, a 3D VTuber is going to be a better option for you than a 2D VTuber. Alright, the second to last thing on the 3D VTuber list is leap motion / hand tracking. If you want to eventually be able to hand track, to have the camera pick up your hand movements, to be able to gesture to chat or anything like that, or to talk if you're doing a YouTube video, then again, 3D VTuber is going to be the option for you. I do not think, I've asked some friends, but I do not think that 2D VTuber has the option to do hand tracking yet. You could do animations where your hands come up, but there's no exact hand tracking yet. So again, if this is a technology you're interested in, go with being a 3D VTuber. All right, last but not least is if you don't know the 3D world very well, if it's difficult for you to understand the 3D world, then 3D VTuber might be more of a struggle for you. Again, if you're totally new to all this, you're not even an artist, you're not anything, you just want to be a VTuber, I say choose 3D VTuber. But if you are a 2D artist with some 3D knowledge, I would recommend being a 2D VTuber, because if you don't have a lot of 3D knowledge, you're going to be frustrated because you're going to be limited as to what you can do if you don't know the 3D technicalities yet and you're still in the middle of learning all the 3D stuff. So if you're a 2D artist and you have a good handle on drawing, again, I would say a 2D VTuber is probably going to be the better option for you, but we're going to hop into all the different stuff for 2D VTuber next. So just to give you an example of what a 3D VTuber looks like, this is my 3D VTuber that I use at the moment. I'm in the middle of switching to 2D, but there's different things you can do. There's animations you can set up and such, and I have that in a video that I worked on called called How to Set Up Your Stream Deck for Your VTuber. You can click on the card up above if you're interested in that. But basically I have hotkeys linked to different emotions and expressions, and this program does not track my face. 3Teen does not track my face exactly right now, but VC Face does. So if you want an exact tracker for your blinking and your eyebrows and your mouth movement, VC Face will be better for that, but I'm using 3Teen because I want to link it with my deck so I can have control over my emotions and the things that I do with my 3D VTuber. Again, this is just sort of what it looks like, and there's different options and different sort of full body animations and stuff that you could do. So without further ado, let's hop over into what being a 2D VTuber might look like. So the first thing to know for 2D VTuber is that the quality programs that you're going to get to start animating and rigging your 2D VTuber is probably going to cost a little bit of money. So the first thing you need to be a 2D VTuber is going to be an art program. I use Photoshop. I think Photoshop's the best, and Photoshop does cost a monthly fee. There are other free art programs out there though that you can download if you're interested in doing a 2D VTuber and you are an artist. So use your desired art program of choice. That's going to be that first step. And then secondly is Live2D Cubism is a great way to rig your model. After you draw, you will rig your model and animate it so that it can be used to face track in a program called PrprLive. That program is free, but the things that are possibly going to cost you money is the art program and Live2D Cubism. It does have a 42-day free trial, but you might be spending more time on your model there. It'll all depend on sort of your pace and how long it takes you to learn. The next thing I want to address with being a 2D VTuber is it has a very high skill cap in the fact that you're going to be spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to do it if you've never done something like this before. However, it is possible and it is so worth it. I've been working on my 2D model and it's been bringing me an infinite amount of joy and happiness to learn this new skill and to see what I can do with these potential valuable skills in the future. That actually leads us right into our next point is the time investment. It takes a lot of time. You're going to be spending a good amount of time working on this, but again, it will be worth it. When you spend a lot of time learning and prepping something, if you really work hard, you're going to make something that you're really proud of. So just know that if you want to do a 2D VTuber, do not get frustrated, do not get angry. It's all part of the process, that it will take a ton of time. Next up on the list is that as far as I know, 2D VTubing does not have an ability to track hands or do leap motion. Like I mentioned earlier, you can do animations where hands come up and do something cute, but again, no leap motion compatibility here, but you will have other tools that 3D does not. The last thing on the list, which is kind of combined, is that I feel like 2D VTubers allow the opportunity for more expression, more control, and I just overall feel like it's more aesthetically pleasing to look at. Let's take a look at what that looks like right now. This is what a 2D VTuber model looks like. I have not finished mine yet, so the lip sync is not working. I have like a ooh and like a smile, kind of, and see, I'm moving my eyebrows right now, I'm blinking in real life. I feel like a lot more expression is available here compared to something like a 3D model. I just feel, it feels more lively, and I'm still not done with this model. I'm going to be making the hair sway a lot more and have the ears move and react, but I feel like it's a lot more expressive. I think it's aesthetically pleasing, and the payoff is completely worth it if you are willing to learn what you need to learn in order to make a 2D model. Alright, so now the big choice comes into play. Do we choose a 2D model or do we choose a 3D model? My personal favorite, I've been enjoying a 2D model a lot more. I love the aesthetic. I think it's so expressive, but if you're someone who's just getting started, really doesn't have a lot of art knowledge, 3D VTuber will be the best for you. But if you're an artist and you're really creative and like artsy things, I think that you will enjoy a 2D model. And again, if you're a 3D artist, you would probably want to be a 3D VTuber. If you're a 2D artist, 2D VTuber. And again, if you have no knowledge really whatsoever, or are not, don't deem yourself as a creative person, I would go with being a 3D VTuber. If you're willing to put in the time investment and put out what you need to put out as far as learning and taking responsibility to learn the skills, 2D VTuber. So again, hopefully that can sort of help guide you in your direction. If you're still unsure, you're at the end of the video and you're like, I still really don't know what I want to go with, please feel free to leave a comment. I'm glad to help you, and if you tell me your certain situation, I'll tell you what I think is going to work best for you. Now you have the ability to choose 2D, 3D VTuber. I believe in you. You're going to choose something great that's going to work awesome and make your content wonderful. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you want to catch me live on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Syafire, and I will see you on the next video, and I am going to blow you some bubbles because that's what we do here. Bye-bye. Enjoy.